This week from Hollywood, we take you to the world premiere of Disney's The Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp and the LA premiere of The Internship with Owen Wilson. Then we tell you which star just had a little boy and which one just married his epic companion in Chicago. Plus, we check back in with Lady Gaga and find out what she did to celebrate gay pride in New York. And then we shine the spotlight on Man of Steel's Amy Adams. All of these updates and more coming up. But first, let's take a look at the red carpet. When Disney puts on a premiere, watch out! Disney's California Adventure in Anaheim, California was the site of the Lone Ranger premiere, and all the stars were there. It's a Tonto kind of world, and what would it be without Johnny Depp? We mean, come on, who could play the part any better?
The connection for me started a long time ago when I was a little kid. I was very uncomfortable with the idea of Tonto being considered the sidekick, you know, and it resonated for the rest of my life, really.
And you can't have a Tonto without the Lone Ranger. Armie Hammer was just the ticket to make this film sparkle.
It will forever be difficult to think of the Lone Ranger and not immediately go to Clayton Moore in your head. I mean, he was the Lone Ranger on screen and off screen, so we just wanted to make something that would make everybody happy who remembered the old Lone Ranger and new generations of kids who've never seen it before, introduce it to them in a fun way.
Captain Fuller was played by an introspective Barry Pepper.
This was absolutely epic. And the towns that Gore and his team created, you were there in the period and you know, you're there in your costume and you don't even have to act, you're just there.
Director Gore Verbinski kept it really simple for us.
The chemistry is everything. You've got to get that right. And you know, certainly, the key was sort of the two of them, you know, casting Johnny and Armie together, because they both they're just completely, you couldn't be more different, you know, and they complement each other beautifully.
Producer Jerry Bruckheimer has been called a visionary by those who know him best. This guy is on a roll.
Armie Hammer and Johnny Depp created this wonderful odd couple, and that's the fun of the movie, you know. It's the bantering between the two and the coming together of these two crazy characters.
You're dead.
Not yet.
The fans arrived at the Westwood Village Theater in LA for the premiere of The Internship. Who doesn't want a piece of Google?
You got us a job at Google? Not a job. It's an interview for an internship that could lead to a job. Nick, this might be the last chance that we got.
Celebrities Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, and Rose Byrne won the hearts of the crowd as they made the rounds. How in the world did the actors keep a straight face during filming? We're not sure, but Gary Anthony Williams gave us an inside scoop.
Listen, people are screaming for them right now.
That just happened.
You know, because Vince and Owen right now, they're over in the crowd, they're punching people. And that's not cool. That's why people are screaming. No, the beauty was that we got to improv all our stuff. So everybody was really just screwing with each other constantly. And yeah, there's no way that you could not break. Like, everyone was breaking during our scene together.
Vince Vaughn hitting people? Let's take a look.
It's one thing to lose your job. It's another thing to say, well, what you're doing for a living isn't needed anymore. And then there was Google in this tech world where it felt like not only were they really doing well, but it looked like a hell of a place to work. It felt like the chocolate factory. They had like driverless cars and restaurants, you know, no more than 150 feet away. They're playing volleyball and taking naps. So it felt like a big contrast to what was going on. I felt like, God, these guys are getting to go to like Club Med for work every day.
Okay, maybe he's not hitting people, but he sure is stealing hearts. Wait, is that Owen Wilson? Why, yes it is. Tell us more, Owen, tell us more.
Sometimes you want to like hit the reset button, and Vince and I get a chance to do that. We've kind of hit a dead end as salesmen, and all of a sudden we're at Google, and it's this kind of exciting new world for us.
Actress Zoe Bell had a confession she only told us.
My best friend? Yeah. My wannabe best friend? Maybe Vince Vaughn? I haven't met him yet, but he will be. You will be my best friend.
He will fall for you. I'm so certain.
Yeah, we're going to be friends. We're going to be like that.
Charles Xavier,
very funny.
Professor Xavier, we know that it's you.
You found me out. Cyclops, Rogue, we're all here. Now, I want to share some of my wisdom with you.
Oh my God! Professor Xavier's a total.
Looks like little Maxwell has a new sibling. Pop star Jessica Simpson and fiancé Eric Johnson have introduced the world to little Ace Canute, the second child for the pair. Jessica underwent a planned C-section in LA on Sunday, and her reps tell us that everything went according to plan. One boy and one girl. Will they have any more? Stay tuned. Famed Star Wars creator George Lucas married his sweetheart Melody Hobson on June 22nd. We spotted them at Chicago's Promontory Point with a host of their famous friends. Among their esteemed guests, Prince, Robin Williams, Mark Hamill, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, Al Roker, Gayle King, Jesse Jackson, and Neo. According to People magazine, George, 69, and Melody, 44, exchanged vows at his Skywalker Ranch. The nuptials were witnessed by 200 guests, including Samuel L. Jackson, Ron Howard, Steven Spielberg, fellow Chicago native Oprah Winfrey, Harrison Ford, Callista Flockhart, and Tyler Perry. Lady Gaga is back in the swing of things post-hip surgery. We spotted the Born This Way singer and fashionista at New York's Gay Pride kickoff event on June 29th. She was looking fine, fierce, and fiery on stage. She thanked her LGBT friends and fans for being there for her and knowing her when. Pronouncing "Now look who the star is now," she sang the Star-Spangled Banner as the symbolic rainbow flag rose into the sky. Gaga has a reputation for being outspoken regarding gay rights.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about super?
This week, we shine the spotlight on Man of Steel actress Amy Adams. She was born in Italy to American parents while her father served their homeland. The family then relocated to Colorado, where she was raised Mormon with 7 siblings. Choir and dance practices were constant, and Amy developed a keen sense for the theater world. It wouldn't keep her long, though. That 70s show, Charmed, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Smallville, The West Wing, The Office, and King of the Hill would pull her over to the small screen. And then Hollywood would come to call. Roles in Junebug, Talladega Nights, Enchanted, Charlie Wilson's War, Night at the Museum, Julie and Julia, The Fighter, Trouble with the Curve, and On the Road would launch her film career. Amy stars this summer in the box office sensation Man of Steel. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's just a really decent human being in the form of an actor? Really?
Expected a lot more swagger from Henry. You know, I don't know why, but he was actually so humble and so generous, even just in that first reading. And I remember thinking, that is a rare package, not only in life, but especially in Hollywood, to find somebody with that physical presence that also has this sort of, I hate to say it, but this softness almost. There's something gentle and genteel about him.
Even actors get a little tongue-tied around others they enjoy watching on screen.
I had so much fun working with Lawrence, who just immediately kind of dove right into that sort of contentious relationship with me, and that was fun. And you could tell that these were two people who really had a lot of respect for one another, but at the same time, like, they butt heads, but that's part of their respect and love, is they know the other person is not going to back down. And Lawrence just made it so easy for me to fall into that.
Part of being an actor is challenging yourself to new techniques, and Amy is no exception.
Working with Zach, at first I was a little nervous because he is so confident, and I don't possess the same confidence. Like, I'll work on a scene for 5 days if they let me. Like, I love kind of getting into it and kind of perfecting it from beginning to end. And Zach knows exactly what he's looking for, and he knows when he has it, and that gives you a certain amount of confidence.
Amy took a moment to remind us that roots run deep, and when you're in the theater world, there's always room for growth.
When I thought of Superman, there was definitely, I had my ideas of what that was and who that was. And when I thought of Lois, there's definitely ideas of what and who that was. But at the same time, I think I come from theater, so roles are constantly reimagined, you know, and redone. So it never throws me to have to reimagine a role or to come at it from a new point of view. To me, it's very exciting. And I hope that people are excited by it and that they embrace this new envisioning of not just Lois, but of the entire world.
The world wasn't ready. What do you think?
Uh-oh! James Cameron may be one of the world's top-grossing directors, but he's now the center of a new $50 million lawsuit by a cover artist called Roger Dean. Fox is also named in the lawsuit. The discrepancy at hand? Well, Dean claims that his images were used to depict the characters in the uber-popular film Avatar. Chump change for both mega-millionaire entities, but is it true? If Avatar's history over the past year alone is any indication, it's plausible. This is Avatar's 4th lawsuit in under 12 months. Well, this is pretty big news. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is extending invitations to join the organization to 276 artists and executives who have distinguished themselves by their contributions to theatrical motion pictures. According to Deadline.com, those who accept the invitations will be the only additions to the Academy's membership in 2013. So, if you get that invitation in the mail, you may want to consider joining while you still can. A24 has announced the acquisition of David Michaud's upcoming feature The Rover, starring Iron Man 3 star Guy Pearce and Twilight's Robert Pattinson. The After-Earth film is set in Australia and promises a murky future on screen at best. It was shot on location in South Australia and is currently in post-production in Sydney. This week on our Hollywood box office countdown, a few monsters, a man in a cape, and the White House. All in a weekend's work. Here we go. At number 5 on our Hollywood box office countdown, Man of Steel with $20.8 million. This caped hero doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. In our number 4 spot this week, White House Down. The action-adventure political thriller raked in $25 million in box office cash this weekend.
Get your hands off my joint!
In our number 3 spot this week, Brad Pitt's World War Z. Is it the end of the world as we know it? Maybe so. According to this top-rated thriller, World War Z scored $29.8 million.
We talk about the end of humanity.
In our number 2 spot this week, for the first time on our countdown, The Heat, starring Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. This dynamic duo brought in an even $40 million.
My homework ate my dog.
In our number 1 spot for the second week in a row on our countdown, Monsters University. These little boogers broke the mold with $171 million in box office gold.
I love college.
Hollywood birthdays this week have our celebrities turning anywhere from 27 to 65. Wearing her kinky boots, Cyndi Lauper turned 60. Sophie's Choice star Meryl Streep turned 64. Jason Mraz has The Remedy at 36. Legally Blonde Selma Blair turned 41. Beyoncé's Lil Sis Bring It On actress Solange Knowles turned 27. Batman's Chris O'Donnell turned 43. Reality star Khloe Kardashian turned 29. Spider-Man's Tobey Maguire turned 38. And Misery actress Kathy Bates turned 65. Be sure to tune in next week for more glitz, glamour, and news from the Hollywood newsfeed.